Hello, I'm Stephen Rakusik with South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
I'm Del Droege, Professor of Biology at Dakota State University.
Today we're going to dissect the sheep heart, Dale?
Yep. We're going to look at an example of the mammal heart, and sheep are a good example of that. You also can order beef hearts, various other kinds of, pig hearts probably under certain circumstances. But I would say beef and sheep are probably the two most common. And one advantage of the sheep heart is it's somewhat smaller because, they're smaller animals. So.
Is this about the size of ours? I mean, is it close?
Yeah, this would be pretty close to the size of a human heart. Yeah, the sheep heart would be very similar, and it's a big, it's a pretty good-sized organ. It's a big, strong muscle, and we want to look externally. You can see these come again. Some of them have more fat on them than others. So like this one, for example, you might have to do a little cleaning up on. I won't cut a lot off here, but you can, you might have to cut some of this fat off to be able to see where the different.
The fat price some cushioning and stuff on
yeah,
that side,
cushioning. Well, it accumulates. We all know you get
Absolutely.
too much fat, and so that's one place it will accumulate. But it gives you a chance to see some of the blood vessels then once you get a little more of that off. Now these will be ordered that actually have an extra long aorta on them, and it just varies on how you order them. So this long tail coming off of here is the aorta. So on this particular one, I would probably cut that off and not have it quite so long so it isn't in the way. But you can see the aorta, which is the primary blood vessel for blood leaving the lungs, the heart, on its way to the body.
As far as left and right, what's
yeah,
an easy way to find
good question.
that?
And this will be one of the things you really want to keep straight when you're looking at a heart. Anatomically, we talk about the organism's right and left side. So the heart sits like this, and so we talk about the right side of the heart. We're talking about the organism's right side. And this would be the left side. So then as you're looking at it, it's going to be exactly opposite if you're looking at the front of the heart. And the front, you can tell, Steve's holding it here, the apex, the tip is down, these blood vessels are at the top, and it's got the diagonal divider here between the two ventricles. And you can see the back looks quite a bit different. You can see where the blood vessels are different. So usually when we're dissecting, we hold it front forward, bottom down, the point down. And now this would be the right side, which would be your left as you're looking at it. And this would be the organism's left side, which would be your right as you're looking at it. So we'll try to give you clues to that as we're going along.
Anything else as far as this one seems like it pushes in fairly easy. This one's a little...
Yeah, as we go through the circulation of the blood in the heart, we'll talk about how, blood comes from your body without oxygen in it, comes to the right side of the heart. The right side of the heart pumps it to the lungs, which isn't a very great distance. Your lungs are, right around the heart. Then the blood returns to the left side of the heart. Now it's going to get pumped out through that aorta to all the rest of the body. So that has to be a much more powerful pump. And so the left side is much more muscular, pump with much more force than the right side. And we'll see that as we open it up, we'll be able to see that in the structure. So you can always, that's another way, Steve makes a good point. If you got a heart, if you just got to even squeeze it, you can feel the difference between the right and the left side.
I got a couple more here I'm going to bring up here, Dale.
Okay.
You can kind of describe where to find left and right on these side here too.
Yeah, and this one's a little smaller heart, maybe a little easier to see. Here are the atria. They look like little ears. They're sometimes called auricles sitting on the top. So this is where the blood comes in. And see, this is the right side again, smaller. And then this diagonal septum there. And then the left side over here. Again, the aorta.
Okay, and then we'll show one more here. And they all look a little different.
Yeah, there's just slight differences. This one seems to have a little sharper point to it, and maybe a smaller right ventricle. And it's a smaller heart, so it's probably a smaller animal that this came from. And again, you can see the vessels and things. So here's the ventricle, and this one's kind of toward the front. Or I'm sorry, the atrium is toward the front. This is the left atrium, and that's the right atrium.
And it looks, like you said, like a little ear coming off there.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.